Mm, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Minded. It's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Minded. 49er Minded. I can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco. Super Bowl, don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session about our red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions, let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how they spin in the spot. Let's roll that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind. 49er minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er minded, but a way of life. For sure. 49er minded. Way of life. 49er minded.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Great to see you guys already early in the chat, patiently waiting, starting a teeny bit late, but it's all good, man. See all you guys here. Let me see what's up to you guys before we get the show started. We got Kenny saying #1 defense. He loves saying it. He loves defense. Hey, defense wins championships, so let's do this. We got Raphael562 here. He says, good evening, Bashar, Keltz Chronicles, and everyone. We got Laura with her Spanish saying, hola, what's good? Got Randy Daytona 500 saying, Bash and Keltz. So let's go. Let's get this. We got Rich Keltz from Keltz Chronicles. One of my favorite people to collab with, one of my favorite people to talk to. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. Man, I get juiced up when I hear that 49er minded. It just, man, I'm in backstage like, yeah, man, I love it. It gets me juiced up, hyped up. One of the best intros, and then the Randy Savage with the pinky with the flick, man. You know, it's got a little twist of humor with the slap in there. You gotta love it, man. If you don't, then to each their own. But what's up, Bash?
Doing good, man. Yeah, that there's gonna be a wrestling spinoff. I've already made the thumbnail for the show and everything. It's me and Lawrence Jackson. Hopefully we can try to knock it out of the park, maybe either tomorrow or Saturday. We haven't had our first episode yet, but he's going to be my co-host. And the first show is just talking about how we started watching old school wrestling and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of cool nostalgic throwback stuff on there. And as far as the music goes, shout out to 49er Dude, the guy who put out that song for me. Really appreciate him. Great guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him. And were you fizzing in the background when the song was playing? Because I know you're from Vallejo, you know. Maybe it has to be more of a hyphy beat. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, man, it's you know, it's lit, man. You know, it's just got a good vibe to it. You know, I was just you know, just doing a little whatever I was doing. I don't know what I was doing, but I was vibing for sure.
Yeah, my voice is kind of on there. I'm not rapping, but I did pick out the beat for the song. We got David McNider here. What up? He says, "What's cracking, Bashar and Rich? Good to have you here." Yeah, man. So all kinds of Niner stuff to talk about. I mean, you know, us as content creators, sometimes we think like, oh, wow, the off season is boring. It's slow. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? And little by little, there's always little nuggets that drop. And first things first, it's always surprise, surprise. We're going to talk about quarterbacks, right? Because Trey Lance, they're dropping videos of him practicing with Patrick Mahomes. And, you know, unfortunately, Brock Purdy is still nursing his injury. So the only real healthy quarterback that we have that looks like potential to be starting week 1 is probably Trey Lance, in my opinion. And then Darnold's there to compete. So what's going through your mind when you're seeing all this stuff going on?
Man, I'm just hopeful that we get to see a full legit shot of Trey Lance. You know, anybody who knows me well knows I was preaching to not only draft him, you know, I was on him 2020 November, you know what I'm saying? Months before the, you know, well before the season was ended, you know, I was already checking him out. So I just want to see the kid get a full legitimate shot and everybody be behind him with that full legitimate shot. That it probably ain't going to happen that way, but I hope he takes it and runs with it. And just because I'm a fan of him, man. I was rocking with them since day one. And then there's so many flip sides. There's so many flip sides to this thing. And I almost want to pull something that you love when I say it. There's so many freaking layers to the game but there really is because, hey, Brock, he's an outstanding young man as well. One thing I'm proud about is both of these guys are great young men. It feels like they got solid foundations. So that's one thing I can appreciate. And Brock, hey, if Brock comes back stronger, healthy, and does an amazing job, so be it. And then there's the layer of the San Francisco 49ers that you just really never know what's going to happen with quarterbacks. So people could say everything they want to say about Darnold, but hey, you get Darnold in a Shanahan system. I kind of look at it like this: Jimmy Garoppolo thrived. He did pretty damn good in this system. Jimmy Garoppolo, he doesn't got, the best physical tools by any means, legs, so I feel like anybody, majority of anybody could really come in here and do well, but I'm definitely rooting for Trey Lance to the fullest, and I just hope we finally find some stability at the position. I hope this is the year where someone takes it, gets it, the whole entire team gets behind it, and the fans as well. I know it's kind of wishful thinking and hopeful thinking, but that's what I'm looking for stability and just cohesiveness, just the confidence. The confidence. It's kind of like John Madden, back in the day. If you have two, you have none. But it really matters because if you have everybody chugging in the same direction, it builds momentum. Momentum typically wins a 6 championship. Like I see the 5 right there below us. So let's take 6 by any means necessary and get the QB situation figured out.
And for the record, I'm never going to Photoshop a 6 trophy there. The only 6 trophy picture I'm going to post up there in the near future is a real one. So
let's
speak of the picture right below us. What up, Platform 246? That's Lawrence Jackson. Mentioned him earlier. He's going to be my co-host from Parts Unknown. Not to be confused with Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown travel show. Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain, the world-renowned chef. And he says, what's happening, Bashar and Rich? And of course, Lawrence is a big-time Niner fan. He's been on here before to talk Niners, and we'll have him on again to talk Niners too. Definitely. Kenny says, whoever our QB is, I'm rolling with team first. Yeah, a lot of people, who hate the Niners will say, "Oh yeah, you guys have no quarterback. You guys have no quarterback." And you're going back to the old cliche: if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. And I do get that old cliche as well, but I do see us with 2 capable quarterbacks. A lot of Trey haters won't think Trey is capable. I obviously think Brock Purdy's capable. Now, sure, there's a question mark of whether he's going to be the same player, with that injury, and it's up for debate. I get that part, but I love what Purdy did. He's a fighter. He's just got the heart of a champion in him, and hey, he's giving Trey a run for his money. Trey saw what he did, and I know it probably gives Trey that extra effort to work even harder. And what really impressed me about this whole thing, it wasn't because they showed, oh wow, look at Trey Lance throwing, his motion looks better or his throws look better. That's cool. Those nuances are cool that he may have fixed, or that's all cool. I get that, but again, he's throwing against air, against there's no defense. It's not a real game, so practices are never going to make me jump up for Joe and do cartwheels or start doing the cabbage patch or whatever. But it's just about this whole thing with the simple fact, the notion that the best quarterback in the league, arguably early in his career, arguably one of the better top 10 quarterbacks of all time, said, "Hey, Trey Lance, I see you have a lot of potential. You're a great guy. Hey, come on board with me. Let's do this. You got some things that you need to work in your game. You need to grow and expand and build upon. I'm right here with you. I'm here, So it's Patrick Mahomes and his QB coach that he hires, Jeff Christensen. Jeff Christensen owns a quarterback school basically, and they're working step by step to better themselves. And I love that. I just love that whole notion. That right there excites me, and I don't see how anybody who hates Trey Lance or anybody who truly doubts his game, it just seems like a lot of these people are playing games and trolling with their Lance hate. But I bet you deep inside, that if they really, really hate him so much, it's like, I don't get it though. It's like Trey Lance developing and being the best player he can be, and him, his potential realizing is the ultimate best thing that can happen for this team. And you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a Purdy hater, and he looked really, really good. But let's be real. What Purdy did for us, it's not, his ceiling is limited. It's not like Purdy's going to be there and 6 years later he's going to develop this amazing deep ball and he's going to do all these amazing things. And not hating on him, but I'm just saying what you're seeing from Purdy is kind of what you may see from him for the rest of his career. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, pretty much everything you said. One thing, like halfway through, you did make me think when you were talking up on Purdy, it did make me think about, hey, there is no denying what he did, when he was on the field. I mean, it's almost, it really is remarkable where he was drafted and what he was able to do on the field. Like, I think I kind of put it all together in a pot one day and, averaged it out. If he were to have played that same level of ball for a whole season, he would have been around 40 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. I mean, 40 touchdowns. I know he didn't do it. He had 13. But it's just like, I mean, you start getting in the conversation of Kurt Warner, Dan Marino, one of three to ever do what he did in the short amount of span of time he did it. And that's why the half of the locker room is so much behind him, man. It's just like, hey, man, this kid, not only did he come out and ball out on the actual field, but he's in practice like, hey, get your ass in line. Like, I don't care who, I'm the QB, I'm the leader. He came with that confidence, man. So, so I see the flip side of everybody who does love him. And then at the same time, like, you just said the ceiling, there is that ceiling factor because, if Trey Lance is a potential top 5, top 3 quarterback in the NFL, you cannot let that opportunity slip by when we've been 3 decades. We've been waiting since Steve Young to get, it's been about 3 decades since we've had a Super Bowl, and then it's been 2002, I believe, since we've had a Pro Bowl quarterback. That's almost crazy. Like when you think about San Francisco 49ers haven't had a Pro Bowl quarterback since 25 years, whatever it's been. So it's time. It's time for someone to take it, stand up for the coaching staff, the players, everybody to chug in one direction. That's just the way I feel about it. I was joking on the show the other day. I was like, man, we're going to see Trey Lance. I said, I hope we get to see him play 4 or 5 games straight, at least just to see. And I was like, hold on, no, not 4 or 5, 17. You know what? How about 20 all the way to the Super Bowl MVP? But, that's me being a fan, man, so we'll see. We're definitely going to see. They never leave us short for controversy. And we're going to see how it plays out, man. It's, it's been how many years of this stuff. So it's exciting and annoying, and it's going to keep on playing out until something happens or someone gets fired eventually.
And at the end of the day, if Trey Lance flops and just takes a nosedive, right? I mean, assuming Brock Purdy's the guy he was last year, we have that as an insurance policy. That's how I look at it. It's just that, some people don't care about the fact that we had invested all these picks or whatever. But if you're a guy that says, oh, I'm about the name on the front, the SF on the front, and not the name on the back, well, us investing all these picks is a huge part of what's on the front.
Real talk.
If you care about this team, so we're just going to look like a bunch of bozos. We're going to look like a bunch of clowns. And, here, you can have our first round draft picks. Here we go. Here, more first. You get a first round draft pick. You get a first round draft pick. You get a first round draft pick. First round draft pick. That will look so stupid on this team if we continue to do dumb things like that and be like, oh, no, but we're going to go with this guy instead. Like, I don't think Kyle Shannon. I don't think Kyle and John are going to go that far right away and just trade him right after that. They're going to see what they have in the guy.
That's one of the things that frustrated me the most was like you showed all the confidence in the world. Not only did you pick him at 3, and some people was like, that's a stretch to even pick him at 3, but then you trade all the picks to pick him at 3. You showed that much confidence in doing and having that kind of having that kind of cojones to go do that and that kind of confidence in the kid. And then first off, you play Jimmy over him the first season, and then he gets little injury. It just feels like it's been sketchy ever since he's been in the building. But you showed all the confidence in the world to pull the trigger. We'll pull the trigger when he's on the field. Quit running him like a fullback. Quit bringing these other guys behind him to make him. Like, I feel like Shanahan kind of does that in a way where he's like, okay, I'll bring a Darnold in here to really make him step his game up. Okay, I'll put Ayuk in the doghouse to really make him level up. I quit playing games, bro. These are grown men. I know you got your ways. I just feel like the micromanagement, it just gets a little weird, and it gets frustrating for me personally. And that's why I said I hope we get to see a full legitimate shot with Trey. And because I feel like he deserves it. It's like it just like you said, it just feels like it would be dumb to, get off of him, and we'll see, man. We'll see.
We'll see. What's up? See Rod Cali in the chat. Had him on the show before. Comes on with Gina Rep of the Bay podcast. Every now and then we collab together on the 49er Podcast Network. I was just on there earlier. I couldn't really be on there for too long, so I'm over here. But good to see you, bro. Oh yeah, I mean, and I know you mentioned Jimmy way earlier, and Jimmy wasn't my favorite quarterback, but on paper and certain things within games, I'm sure he ran this offense, and he didn't run it as good as Brock, because he didn't obviously didn't score as many touchdowns, wasn't as efficient, but at the end of the day, this offense is a quarterback friendly offense, and Jimmy did some good things here and there, and by the end of the day, he doesn't have the it factor either. He is who he is, so we had to move on, and that's that. And, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Now, I didn't like the Shanahan, Brandon Ayuk doghouse. I thought that was totally unnecessary, totally ridiculous. I don't know forgot what the details were. They revealed what it was, why it happened. But I just think that was stupid, in my opinion.
Maybe he looked at his phone too long. Who knows?
I just thought it was really stupid. But yeah, definitely, Shanahan, bad move on the whole Ayuk doghousing. But I know you mentioned you didn't like the move with Darnold. I'm at least okay with it because who else is healthy in the quarterback room? So I'd rather had they picked up Darnold last year towards when Jimmy got hurt or whatever, that'd have been cool. I'd rather have Darnold out there than Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson was like, whoa, what are they doing here?
That's exactly what I said, like right around when we very first swooped him up. I was like I'm all good with Darnold just because of that fact of the uncertainty of the quarterback injury, right tackle, this, that, and the other. So I'm good with it, but man, there's just always the flip side. There's always a flip side, and I'm always trying to look at every single side, man. So it's just tough. It's just tough with without having a Pat Mahomes who is, been there, done it, won some rings. You know what I'm saying? It's tough when you're still in the beginning of trying to figure it out. But it just really, really sucks that they, like I said a minute ago, they had the balls to go up and get him, and now it's back to lukewarm, and we don't know.
Yeah, if you step on the gas full throttle and you're making that move, then you're basically the no-brainer thing is, hey, let's ship Jimmy out of town and let's give this guy the reins and bring in whatever veteran we can bring in as Trey's backup and go from there. And that's how you normally do it, but we didn't do it that way. We did it the stupid way, of course.
They like it, man. Hey, Kyle likes it, man. Hey, if I were to really guess, he likes the controversy. He likes the discussion. It never ends. And I'm sure it helps out. I'm sure it helps with ratings and whatnot and all that stuff, So I'll just stop there.
Yeah. And Randy Daytona says that we lost those picks, but we hit on a lot of later ones. Thank God we did. It's not so bad. So it's not so bad. And our first round picks are usually early second rounders. True. And we're doing a great job with scouting. Hopefully it continues because we don't have a pick until the bottoms of the third round unless we decide to move up. Kenny says the obvious. Solomon Thomas was the worst pick so far. Hey. Yeah, in the Shanahan era. That draft I actually wanted. I actually have a text on my group text with my Niner fan friends. I was like, oh damn, I wanted to get Mahomes. I was like right after when the Chiefs had picked him. A friend of mine put me on to Patrick Mahomes that draft, and what he was telling me was that, we might be able to get him in the second round. So I was like, oh, cool. That would be cool if we got him in the second round. And then I was like, damn, this guy must have really jumped up the draft board because he's already picked in the middle of the first round. So it is what it is. We didn't get Mahomes, and I wish Shanahan would have had his eye on him, but it sounded like he didn't.
Nah, Andy Reid was like, "Oh yeah, what's that? Everybody's sleeping on this dude that looks like." I don't even want to say his name, but I remember during those times, it was kind of like Brett Favre. He was that gunslinger. He's just on his back foot slinging it, and Andy Reid seen it, and he moved up. I believe he moved up to 10. I'm not sure how far he moved up, but I'm pretty sure the Chiefs went up to 10, and they went and snagged him, man. So props to them. I will say that they have done phenomenal. They have, we look back to 2017 and brick by brick, hey man, they've built a tremendous roster. There's no arguing that. But quarterback is the number one position in football. It always is, it always has been, it always will be. And that's why if you go down the Super Bowl list, you'll see Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, you got to get the QB figured out. You can have the top 3 roster for years and years and years and years, and you can wind up like the Bills in the 90s or the Chargers, in the early 2000s going 14-2 and not, getting knocked out of the playoffs, go 13-3, get knocked out of so you got to get the QB figured out, man. It's the most important position regardless, but they have built a phenomenal roster. But hey, let's take it another notch and get it situated.
Yes, sir. We got John Lynch. He's here. We were just talking about him earlier. He says, "What's good?" Kind of like Jay the Baby likes to say, "What's good?"
Yes, sir.
Yeah, John Lynch likes to say it too. Apparently, that one in here. I was back to Brock. I forgot to bring this point up, and I guess this guy's mad at me in the chat. I don't know if he's mad at me or he brought up Brock. He said, "Hey, Brock Purdy stepped up and brought us further than we should have done with a third string quarterback. I think Purdy will continue to grow and be sufficient." I don't think so. I don't think he gets much better than what he is now. And this is what the worry is. It's not a guarantee that we're going to have this grade A roster with all pros at multiple positions year in and year out. I'd rather, this is my philosophy. I'd rather, a la Kansas City Chiefs, a la, Buffalo Bills, what they're trying to do is have that guy who's going to be, your semi-elite quarterback or an elite quarterback if you have the chance to develop that guy and go from there, because you don't necessarily have to have all pros at every single position in order to get to where you got to be. That's my philosophy, at least.
I will say, Mac, you're absolutely right with what you said, but at the same time, like, how do you feel about Lance? I know Brock did what he did, but how do you feel about Lance? Like, I know once upon a time, you had to feel some kind of way about Lance. It's like Purdy did what, like we were talking about earlier. Like, what if the best that Brock Purdy can absolutely do is top 10? What if the best that, Trey Lance becomes the best in the league and he winds up going somewhere else? And that's who we had, not who we could have had, but we actually had him. So it's tough, but I hear you. And as a matter of fact, I do want to say that's my son right there, man. So good stuff for coming through, my man. I love you. It's been a minute since I've seen you check in. Good stuff for coming through, bro. Love you.
Okay, I didn't know that was your son. I know I've seen him. Did he change?
He's like, no, actually, he's like, nah, it's all good, man.
I thought he had a different screen name. I could have sworn I seen your son in the chats in the past.
I'm not sure. That's the only one I ever.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
I do remember seeing him in the past on the chats, though. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not a guarantee. I mean, unless we're just lucky and we're just hitting on draft picks for the next 10 years. I mean, to me, I just don't see us having this roster with the salary cap and all that, this caliber roster for the, it's not a guarantee that we're this good all across the board on the roster. I just don't see it. I mean, I'd love to have it. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
I was trying to be unbiased and treat it just like I didn't know the person at first, but man,
you did a good job of
you lost it. Man, you lost faith in Trey. Come on, boy. Come on.
Hey, you know what?
Once upon a time, you
Brock Purdy changed a lot of people's minds. There's been people that I know were all about Trey, and nowadays people act like they got nothing to say, but nothing.
Yeah. Hey.
But if it comes out when they move the lips, it's just a bunch of gibberish. Some other people act like they forgot about Trey.
Coming up like you want something free, you ain't gonna get a crumb from me.
I can't. I stumbled on that. That's one. I'm not a rapper, and it's hard for me to do that fast. I've done it before without stumbling, but I didn't practice it either. Kenny says, I'm not mad at all. We have superstars on this team. I hope we can continue that because if we don't have Trey Lance and Trey Lance doesn't develop into the guy I think he could possibly develop in, and it is Brock Purdy. I just don't see like for example, is Brock Purdy going to win a shootout with Patrick Mahomes when it matters?
Yeah. Yes, sir. We're gonna see.
I mean,
it's like
I'd rather have a shootout without an elite quarterback is what I'm saying though. If we do develop that guy, that's all.
Hell yeah, man. It who can stay healthy? It's almost like survival of the fittest, man. It feels like,
And you know what? As much as I've never been the world's biggest Jalen Hurts fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he looked pretty dang good in that Super Bowl. Now, did they seal the deal? No, but they're going up against Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, and Andy Reid, and I get that. But overall, had Jalen Hurts not fumbled, it might have been a different Super Bowl. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
go ahead.
I think Pacheco too. I think he was a major piece of. I know he got his bell rocked. He got his bell rung a few times too by who was that? Gardner Johnson.
Chauncey Gardner Johnson,
yeah. I think Pacheco was definitely an X factor in that game, man. Just that heart, just that hard nosed, just the will. You could just, that was a great game. Great game. Hey, man, the Eagles arguably had the best roster, and like you said, man, even the Jalen Hurts, he played a hell of a game, but it come down to one mistake. It came down to one mistake basically, and it's a game of inches, a gang of layers.
Yeah, there you go. Layers. You got to say your prayers because there's so many layers. Dominate 49er has a question. If you want to answer this first, go ahead. It says, let's be real. Would Trey win those 8 straight games Purdy did?
We will never know, Dominator. Or was that Dominator? Was that the name?
Yeah, Dominate 49er.
Hey, let's be real. If Trey was already like getting in the swing of things, I mean, hey, man, it's like, could it? I can't really say. That's a hard one. Dominate, because there is no being real.
There's no right or wrong answer to that. There's no right or wrong answer to that.
There's no being real to a hypothetical. But hey, if I'm just going off of a hypothetical, you can't really call it real. And I know I'm getting all technical and stuff, but Trey would have won the Super Bowl. How about that? Trey would have won the Super Bowl last year. We would have beat the Eagles.
But Dominate, those who love Jimmy and hate Trey so much, and those who are all sit on the Brock Purdy bandwagon. As a team, when do we ever start off on an amazing win streak? We did it one time, and it was primarily because the defense was balling out. Don't tell me it was because of Jimmy. That was in 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, that was when Ahkello Witherspoon was getting pick sixes, and Ahkello Witherspoon was playing like an all-pro for certain strings of games. And we all know he's trash. That was like an unthinkable, moment of his career. Let's be real with that one.
Hey, even when Jimmy won those 5 straight when he very first came in with the Niners, he wasn't lighting stuff on fire with stats. We were I think we beat the brakes off of Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jacksonville game was really nice.
Yeah, but but it's not like he was just this. We were winning the 49ers, and even before he went on that 5-game win streak, we were knocking on the door. Like, our team was still. I know we lost a lot of games, but we were inching our way to already start winning, and I heard someone the other day talking about how quick Kyle Shanahan falls in love and how quick he falls out of love. And that's just what that was. He just fell in love quick, gave him the bag, and all of a sudden he's ghost in the offseason and not building chemistry. And
we fell in love with Jimmy. I got his jersey after his 3rd start because that was back when Jimmy could extend plays. That was back when Jimmy wasn't throwing hospital balls. It was back when Jimmy wasn't acting all scared and jittery from defenders. Jimmy had not that he was lighting up stat wise, but he had certain nuances to his game where he looked way more comfortable back then.
When he came in the season where he tore his ACL, I remember those first 4 games. And like you just said, before he even tore his ACL, he was already jittery. And
I don't know what happened that 2018
because he had an amazing,
him.
I think he had a little bit too amazing of a summer or whatever it was. That's when there was some other news that was going on with his life. I ain't gonna get into, but I was
wouldn't
sitting
call that
there.
amazing, but yeah.
I was sitting there, just like I remember those 4 games. Like, that's why you don't go messing around doing stupid shit in the damn summer, bro. Like, get your head. And I just seen him looking scared. And then it's almost like he got so scared, he tore his own ACL. I know. Hey, look, I know some people could say maybe it's
don't get me started with the way he ran back inbounds on that play. I was so mad watching that game. When
and if you're timid and you're hesitant, injuries like go way up. If you're half stepping and you're just not, you know what I'm saying? And he was already like that those first 4 games. And injuries happen more when you're half stepping and when you're people say seeing ghost, with Sam Darnold and whatnot. But it's true, man. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. I've seen it. When you're half stepping, you're on shaky foundation and bad stuff's gonna happen. And
okay. So
anyways,
Red Eyes got. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Long story short, Jimmy is somewhere else.
With the Raiders.
I did not think I'd be talking about Jimmy today.
Randy Daytona is bringing up that hip hop reference that you brought. Ain't no half stepping. That Big Daddy Kane. Okay, so we got Red Eye. What's up, Red Eye? Welcome to the chat. I've seen you before. Been a while. Says Brady Rodgers always cry for an A-list roster with their want list every season. Obvious to win, you need high ranked roster Pro Bowlers to win. Brady didn't win with that many Pro Bowls though. He's won plenty with some no name guys though. We all remember that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean that one time he had Moss. He almost won it, but don't you? I mean, and Brady didn't really always have A-listers though.
Troy Brown, who else? I mean,
I'm forgetting the names. I mean,
he was turning Danny Amendola into a legit,
one time he had a dope running back, Corey Dillon. That was it.
Corey Dillon, yep. And that was toward the end of Corey Dillon's, I'm trying to go through. It was the Bill Belichick defense and just be efficient on offense. And
it was a total system. They're all system players. A lot of them were.
Real talk.
Okay. T Breezy, what up? Trez, this is a good buddy of mine from the ATL. It says Bashar in the building. Let's go Team Trey. Hey, you know what? I'm going to say this again. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Whoever the best man is right now, that proves that in this upcoming season, assuming Trey gets a fair shake, he's got to get a fair shake. None of this BS where we pussyfoot around with the guy. He has to get a fair shake. Not a handout. Not a handout. You guys hear me? You guys see what I'm saying? No. Have him come out there and prove that he's the best player, or have Brock prove he's the best player. Whoever else wins in that regard is fine. And who I'm fine with who the quarterback is in that regard. So no pussyfooting with Trey. No BS where they're going to try to trade him to some other team where we never got to see what we had with him after all this work that he's putting with Mahomes and everybody. No, that doesn't fly with me.
Hey, if I'm talking to Trey or if I'm talking to Brock Purdy, I would tell them both the same thing. Let me see it then. Go take it. You know what I'm saying? Go get it. Go get it. Go take it. Let's go. It's as simple as that.
And T Breezy, shout out to you, bro. I heard your call on the Jesse Nader Last Second Sports channel. Yesterday was pretty good. I like what I had there. I was surprised that you even called in on there. And I gotta have you on the show one of these days, but I never had you on before. I think I may have had you one time on one of my call-ins, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't done a call-in on here in a while. So let's jump off the quarterback train because it's just a long, cycle of just talking about quarterbacks. The 49ers did, I believe they had a visit with Laquan Treadwell, wide receiver. This doesn't really do much to me. I saw a buzz about it on Twitter. I don't know what you're thinking. If you ever fell in love with the guy who's a former first-round pick, what any thoughts on that?
I'm trying to remember back to that draft. It was a few years ago, right? And the first thing that pops out is I remember super talented, a lot of stats. I think numbers were popping off. I'm trying to think of the comparison. I don't know if there was any kind of comparison.
He's a bigger receiver
with the Metcalf. Receiver. Yeah, it reminds me of a Metcalf and just numbers popping off the charts and stats were off the charts. So I love wide receivers, man. I don't know how many years he's been in the league. I don't got stuff in front of me right now.
He was drafted in 2016.
2016
by the Vikings. It was like the 24th pick overall, I think, something like that. He only ran a 4.66 40. He wasn't ever a blazer, but he was supposed to be. I mean, that was back when we had no receivers. So I was like, oh, maybe we should get this guy.
And do you know how many teams he's been on?
I think like 3. I'd have to double check, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely been on
kinda
share teams.
you kinda start wondering when you have that much talent, you've
Mhm.
already been hopping around, like, is the work ethic there? I think that's the biggest thing, hey, even guys like, you look at guys like, Steph Curry and Tom Brady, and, a lot of it's contributed to, work ethic and just having that hunger to just, so I kinda look at it like that, like, if he's, eh, meh, you know, it's Treadwell. Once upon a time it seemed amazing, but who knows? Maybe he's got something in the tank. Maybe he's got something to prove.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um, yeah,
He
meh.
had a decent season. I'm not sure where he was in the rotation, but on Jacksonville back in 2020, he had 434 yards. Only had 1 touchdown, and he did. I guess he did okay as a rotational player. He started 7 games actually that year, but I'm not. Some people were just super excited about us trying to get this
I
guy all
would.
because he's a former first rounder. I'm like, he hasn't really done much. So I'd rather just draft a wide receiver, but that's just me.
I'd rather see Danny Gray get utilized for the love of God. I put something on Twitter today, like for the love of God, like please utilize the speed, man. They got
If
him. They got him for a reason, and hopefully we see some bombs by whatever quarterback is out there. Laying it up for him like Trey Lance did versus Green Bay last year, and we get to see the Greyhound, take flight. That's what I'm hoping for.
that's assuming Trey Lance becomes who a lot of people want him to be, who he's supposed to be. We most likely we'll see a lot of Danny Gray. I don't know how much we see with him with Purdy if he's the starting quarterback. I mean, Purdy's not his specialty is in throwing the deep ball. We know that. Let me see what's up to Aaron for 49ers First Takes. What's up, bro? Good to see you. He said, hey, hope you guys are hey guys, hope you are both doing well. Happy Easter to Aaron, and hope you're recovering. I know you had that knee surgery, and good to see you here, bro. We got Low the Truth 05. Definitely check out 49ers First Takes channel. Subscribe to his channel. He dropped a video today, by the way. I checked it out. Low the Truth 05 says Bashar and Rich, what's good, folks? We're going to get into the mock draft pretty soon. I just wanted to cover something really, really quick. The 49ers did host basically a Bay Area Pro Day today, a local pro day. 4 players, primarily who played for Bay Area universities or, like Fresno, or players with Bay Area roots, but they played elsewhere. We're talking about like Brigham Young, Notre Dame, or whatever. Like a local pro day. So a lot of these guys live in the Bay Area, either currently because they played for a Bay Area team in college, or they're just from there. They went to high school out there. So the names, I'm not going to go through all 40 of the names, but if you want the list, I could give it to you, or I can flash it up on here. But the names that jump out at me, quarterback Jake Haener from Fresno State. I haven't watched this guy. A lot of people like him, though. They brought in the Tanner McKee from Stanford, another quarterback. And they brought in some 6'11" line right tackle prospect. When I hear of a 6'11" right tackle prospect, Jack Wilson, he looks really tall and skinny. He looks like a tight end. He doesn't look like a tackle. Another guy, some other names that pop out for me on this list that look good to me. The wide receiver from Stanford, Michael Wilson, heard a lot of good things about him, especially on the mock drafts. He's expected to go fairly high. He was at the Senior Bowl. Junior Violami Fahoko is his real name. From San Jose State, pass rusher, edge. He's originally from East Palo Alto too, so he's a Bay Area guy through and through. Played all his ball in the Bay Area. The name that really, really jumps out at me, because especially since Larry Krueger was hyping up this guy, another edge, is Isaiah Foskey. Now, I wasn't aware of this guy. I didn't watch a lot of Notre Dame football this year, but Larry Krueger's super high on this guy. I'm not sure if you watch him recently talk about him.
Is he number 7?
I think so. Yeah, he's an edge.
Okay.
I know people are so cool with this whole, especially in the NFL now. It looks so weird to me when an edge or a huge defensive lineman wears a single-digit number. It looks odd to me. But anyways, Isaiah Foskey looks like a really, really promising pass rusher. Larry Krueger put me onto him. He compares him to Yannick Ngakoue. He's a guy we'd have to trade up for, obviously. But that's one of the names that stood out. I don't know if you have any names that stand out, or you're just curious to talk about this. The players that we worked out today in the local workout for the 40 players from college.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it, man, so I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was just thinking about Andy read my mind, because when you said Jake Haener, it's hard
Julie
not to
Haener.
see. It's hard not to see Julie Haener, man. I've been seeing her since I was a kid, man.
I never pictured her having a son that was some big time college football player. I had no idea until Ted put me onto it.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool, man. Getting for them. But
Yeah. Okay. Kenny, my boy, says 49ers had a scout team at Stanford with McCaffrey and Solomon Thomas, and they picked Thomas. Hey, we ended up getting McCaffrey the long run, though. I'll take it, man. I'll take it anyway. We got him, and we got him when it matters. And he helped us in our playoff run. And I think I see a lot of good things happen in the future with McCaffrey as a 49er. Andy Land, what up, bro? Guy I grew up with says, yeah, he brought up Jake Hayner about Julie Hayner. Julie Hayner is a newscaster on the local news in the Bay Area on the Channel 2 Fox affiliate. Excellent newscaster, and it just always surprised me that she has a son that's such a good football player. Kenny says, I doubt they draft edge early. Yeah, I mean, I think they might do it, but again, I kind of want them to go for right tackle too. I don't know what we do if we stay put or trade. And we drafted Drake Jackson early, right?
Yeah, man, they love the defensive line. It feels like they always take turns, you know. Yeah, man. We love that D line, though, man. I will say that it's been, you know, we did kind of go a little. I'm thinking last year's draft and who we still got. I'm still thinking of Poe and Zakel, and yeah, we need it. We're going to build in the trenches for sure. I still feel like we need to hit up cornerback. And one thing that frustrates me, it's like, man, I'll be like, man, like, you know, we really need to go for cornerback. It's like, hey, I really like Lenore. I think Lenore's a dog. I think he's amazing, but. And then there's the but. But at the same time, I feel like we need another one. You know, if a Mooney goes down or a Lenore goes down, you know, we don't got a lot of guys back there. So that's, and especially with losing Mosley. You know, I want that Mosley replacement. And I know we got Oliver. I know we got a couple of you know, another guy as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going hard on the cornerback and right tackle for sure.
It's a very good cornerback draft. So if we don't draft a cornerback, I'll be shocked.
And safety.
Guy, Trevor Tomlinson's a guy who I like. I forgot what school he plays for, but he's related to
TCU. TCU.
Yeah, there you go. TCU. There you go. He's not that big, but when you watch him, man, you're like, whoa, this guy would look good in a Niner uniform.
Yeah, he ain't that big. And then you turn the tape on, and it's like, nah, he's big. He's big, all right. Like, hey, man. I fell victim to doing that. Like, oh, this guy's too tall. He's too skinny. Like, oh, it reminds me of McGlinchey. Stay away. But it's like, or this, I started looking too, like at cornerbacks. When I first started a few months back, when I started looking at the draft, like, this dude's too short. We already have a Womack. We already have a Lenore. But hey, man, when you put the tape on and you start seeing playmakers make plays and game-changing plays, I don't care what size they are. I don't care if they're 400 pounds or if they're 150 pounds. If a guy has a knack for the ball and is a dog and knows how to make plays, I'm all for it, man. And I've watched a lot of tape on a lot of cornerbacks. It's not like I've just checked out Tomlinson and that's the guy I like. And I'm, you know, I've watched a lot of them, most of the top, you know, 30 or 60, whatever. So
there was one guy, Larry Krueger, was really hyping up. I'm drawing blanks now because I only saw the video once where he talked about, I didn't write his name down, a skinnier, lankier cornerback that might be available in the round two. Forbes. Is it Isaiah Forbes or Malcolm Forbes?
It's Emmanuel Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes. There you go.
Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State, because I'm a huge. I would like to say I was on him before I heard anybody on him, but whatever. It doesn't, you know. Hey, man, when you see someone who's great, when you see someone who makes playmakers, I'm surprised there's not a lot more people who are like, oh, hey, Tomlinson, man, hey, I don't care about his height. That there's a reason why he got the award for the best cornerback for a reason. You know, you look at Emmanuel Forbes, 14 interceptions, took a few to the house, and they weren't gimme interceptions. Like that man, Forbes and Tomlinson are two of my favorites for sure. So Krug is on point.
Yeah, Krug's a former NFL scout. He was a scout for the they weren't the Arizona Cardinals back then. They were the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, back then. Yeah, so
in Canadian League as well, right?
Yeah, in the CFL as well. That's where he got to start. Then he went to the NFL. What up, Teron Lewis? That's TL from the 49ers Faithfully podcast with Mariah. They got a great podcast, a lot of fun on there. I've been on there a few times. They have excellent giveaways, and TL is awesome. It's a great dude holding it down in Las Vegas for the 49er fans out there. And Tommy Huxley is here. I'm not gonna say your name the funny way I normally say it. He says Keltz wants cats, not dogs. Oh wow! Well, throwing a little shade.
You calling Tomlinson a cat, bro? Like
no, Pettis is a cat. I don't want him.
There you go. That's for you, Tommy. Nah, man, I thought you was talking about me personally. I'm like, man, I got cats and dogs, or I got 1 cat and 2 dogs, but, nah, man, I definitely want dogs, bro. Hey, go put on the tape, Tommy. Go check it out, my man.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna get started with this mock draft in just a moment. Kenny says, O-line, safety, cornerback, tight end, and please draft running back Devon Shane or Achani, if I'm saying his name right, from Texas A&M. I know you told me about him. You put me onto him. I pulled up his film. I did watch him.
Hey, that man, that's another. Hey, if he falls to us, if he falls
What
to
if it's in the
99,
third round, though? What if it's in the third round?
I'm swooping AKing up. I'm swooping AKing up. Yes, I'm adding another running back. Yeah. That's just me. That's just me.
I'm getting another running back too, because there's a couple of running backs I see out there. I'm like, you know what? I think this guy would look good in a Niner uniform, and I love what I saw from Elijah Mitchell when he's healthy. But I can't throw all my eggs in one basket with a guy. I just can't do it.
A-Kane's different for sure. Blazing speed, and he's not just speed, man. He's got some power as well, man. So
my running back that I'd like to get is Israel Abikananda, if I'm saying his name right, from Pitt. He's got some Mostert type abilities, and he's bigger than Mostert. He's not a small little, little scrawny guy, kind of like Mostert. The one thing I didn't like about Mostert, he never looked like a running back to me. Now I love the way he ran in our system, but it's like, can this guy take a hit?
He looked a little bit more like a
wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Took the words out my mouth.
And before we start the mock draft, I'm going to share my screen in a minute. T Breezy with Trez for the ATL says, I got a question for you guys on why do you think Kyle Shanahan, this guy does not like Kyle Shanahan, unless he had a change of heart, I'm not sure, but he says, why do you think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are meeting with guys that are going in the first and second round? May a trade be in place? You can answer
that. He said, why are they? Or wait, I didn't see that part. Why are they or why aren't they? Wait, I got a question.
Why are they? I think he means why are they? Yeah, why are they meeting? Because we've met with a lot of people. I've seen a list of who we've met with.
Hey, man, if my wish came true, all right. I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's time to go take a Super Bowl. And you go get a CMC, you go get a Hargraves. Those are the kind of moves where you're demonstrating, hey, we're going to take a Super Bowl. And if it was me, I'm moving far up in the draft, and then I'm trading back in the draft, and I'm going to grab my future right tackle and cornerback. And the 2 guys that I really like is DeJuan Jones. Ironically, he's like I think
DeJuan Jones.
He's the biggest man in the draft, and then I want to take the lightest dude in the draft, and that's Emmanuel Forbes. I'm going to get my future left and right tackle, because after Trent goes, you could slide him right over to left, maybe, probably.
In my dream world scenario, I don't think it's going to happen. But if we find a way to work some strings to pick up DeJuan Jones from Ohio State, you'll see me on here jumping for joy. I'm going to be doing the Cabbage Patch. I'll do the Running Man. I'll do the Dougie. Do whatever dance you can think of. I'll be doing it if we get that guy.
That man puts people down just with his hands. Even when he slips up on his footwork, he's pancaking dudes, and it reminded me of Trent Williams. I'm like, this dude is pancaking dudes like Trent right here.
He's a mountain of a man. Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna get this mock draft going. Before we do, I gotta say what's up to Night of Game Podcast. What up? Dion says, love it, Keltz and Bashar, fantastic. Say the yee for me, Rich.
Yee.
I had you do. I can't go high pitch. I can't do that. And that's your little saying. Electric slide. I don't know how to do that one. Yeah, I gotta practice that one. And Lola Troop 05 says, I like Devin a chain. There you go.
There it is.
I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get going with this mock draft. I don't want to keep you on here forever. I know you got things to do. So let's do this. Okay, so let me click out of this Roundtable Pizza ad. I know I talk about pizza, but we ain't doing the pizza conversation today, though.
This is a different one, so I'm excited.
Oh, so I don't have the full access to PFF. If you do, we can share your screen.
No.
Okay. Because I used to do the PFF ones on here, but they want you to subscribe to that crap, and I'm not doing it.
I appreciate.
Macaroni, is that a dance?
I would.
Macarena.
I know, huh? Man, that got me. Whew, yeah. It got me thinking of my mom, man. My mom freaking loved the Macarena. Man, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. Someone could say the word Macarena, but yeah, she passed in 2011.
Rest in
Not trying to,
peace
or
to Mama Keltz.
2017, not trying to make it, but it just hit. It all of a sudden just hit like a little wave. So, yeah, man.
Hey, Macarena. All right.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
so
man. I
go ahead.
appreciate the different ones. So, yeah, man. I like to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Okay, let's do this.
it.
So this is a good one. This is probably my second favorite one in terms of interface and the way it looks. And the draft board on this one is cool, but I was more used to the ones on PFF with the names that they were dropping in the rounds. But it's all good. If you don't, for me, if I don't know certain names and I see people ranked high, what I'll do is I'll open up another browser tab. I call it reverse scouting, and I'll just go ahead and look that player up, and I'll see what I can do with his highlights. So if you want me to put up any position groups, I can do so. We're not going to be doing any trades. We're at the 99th pick overall in the third round. Bryce Young's at the top of the list. I can show the players at the top of the list with the first 15 picks or whatever, first 15 guys on the draft board. Or if you want me to just go to position groups, I can do that as well. So the floor is yours. And if you can read the names, let me know, or I can read them out for you.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so at the top of the list, they got Bryce Young, QB CJ Stroud. I don't think we're going that route. Edge, Will Anderson shows up. Jalen Carter, Will Levi, Bijan Robinson, running back. He's a beast. I'm surprised he's available here. And if any position groups you want me to pull up, let me know. If you're able to see the names, or if I'm going too fast, let me know too. Just trying to give you the whole breakdown of who's available currently. Emmanuel Forbes is available. There you go. See him up there. And if you want to pull up any position groups, I can do so. So we're 99th pick overall.
Oh, you already ran it? Like it's already.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to do the pick. I'm waiting for you if you want me to. So this is so you're John Lynch and I'm Adam Peters. If I have the input, I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm looking at hold on a minute. So we could pick Bryce Young.
You know what?
Right here?
My bad. You know what?
I was like, hold on.
I didn't hit start yet.
I was like, bro, I was confused. I was about to be like,
I was like, damn.
Man, if I had. Hey, but you got me thinking now. Who would I take in the draft if I was all the way up there? I haven't thought about that one yet.
It's my bad. I forgot to hit start on it, so it didn't. Now it's gonna be the real draft. The real. I was like, why? I was thinking, why is this dude available? Why that doesn't make sense.
I was confused.
Me too. I was like, whoa, Forbes. Whoa, Bijan Robinson. What's going on here? I never see these names pop up that early. Okay, here's the real deal. Boom, jokes aside, Jordan Battle's available, Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson, Sidney Brown, Illinois safety, Andre Carter II, the son of former 49er, Edge, Army. I like that guy right there. Nathaniel Dell, Tyler Scott, Zach Harrison. That guy's been popping up a lot. Carl Brooks.
Yeah, actually, we both heard John V. He was. Hey, man, he was convicted about him. I almost want to pick him for him because, I got to go check him out. But one name I did see as you're scrolling down, scroll down a little bit more, I seen Eli Ricks.
The corner?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
In Alabama?
Hey, man, if Eli Ricks is still there, I'm definitely swooping up Eli Ricks. I don't know how you feel about that. Yeah, because we're a team, man.
We're him up a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, man.
We're a team, right? Hey, if you could scroll down a little bit more just to make sure we're doing our due diligence up in here. A little bit further. Wow, Nick Herbig is still there.
I see the running back that I like, but I don't want to get him this early, though.
Yeah. I
feel
it.
I see McGuire down there.
So are we going position, talent? Hey, I honestly feel like, we basically got 3 picks in a row.
Yeah, we do.
So that's the one name that jumped out at me was I'm surprised Tomlinson ain't there either, or unless he's
want to get Ricks?
God, it's like, man, I've been up on Tomlinson. I'm kind of almost like,
Tomlinson. I don't know if he's available. Let's see. Let's find out. Tomlinson may not be available on this draft board. I don't see him available. Nope.
See, hey, he's going to start rising. People are going to start saying, okay, hey, we don't care about that height because we know he's a baller. But
these are top corners available right here.
I would definitely. I don't know if you know about Garrett Williams or Stevenson.
I don't.
Too much.
I didn't look those guys up.
I've looked Garrett Williams up a little bit, and I think personally, I like Eli Ricks more.
Okay.
So yeah, we could swoop him up.
Okay, we're gonna go Ricks at pick number 99. We're gonna reject these trade offers. Eli Ricks, cornerback from Alabama. I don't want those weak trade offers. We're going to go best players available currently. Javon Dexter's still there. Another cornerback, Tyreek Stevenson, the edge, Andre Carter second, who I like a lot from Army. Who else is Zach Harrison still there? John V's guy, and my boy Joey Mahoney was talking him up a whole lot too. He says he reminds him of Bosa. Heard some good comps with that guy.
Who was that again?
My friend Joey Mahoney. He's been on here before.
No, but what guy? What guy?
Zach Harrison, the edge from Ohio State.
Okay, so he was on Zach Harrison as well, huh?
Yeah, Zach Harrison. Yeah, they're both on him. I've heard some good comps with him. I'm hearing he's got some moves kind of like Bosa. I'm hearing he's built like Myles Garrett. So that's what I've been hearing.
Right. What position? Hey, Chris Smith too. I don't know if you, but I think
I've heard about Chris Smith.
I think we should maybe hit up the trenches. Like how you feeling?
I'm thinking about
that?
tackle too. What, right? Offensive line, or Wanya Morris is available. Nick Saldiveri is high on this draft board. I've seen him lower on other draft boards.
I was gonna say, or could we snatch? We probably could get one of those guys at 155. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe Wanya Morris, maybe at 155 if you're pushing it. But then again, the offensive line is really thin right now because a lot of names I'm familiar with were already snagged. Talking about Blake Freeland, Cody Mock, a lot of guys who I was seeing. There's a lot of these other guys right here when I'm going down the list. Luke Haggard's a name I recognize. Okay. He's all right. So it's your call, man.
All right, let's look at all of them again.
This is the whole rundown right here.
I wish I would have checked a few of these guys out, but Andre Carter, who do you like better out of Andre Carter and Harrison?
I don't know. Andre Carter is lanky. I like him. I just haven't compared them enough. I haven't watched them. I've watched little clips and highlights of both of them, but I haven't watched full game either to really say who I like better. But, considering that I hear from the guys I know, they've been talking up Zach Harrison a whole lot, so I may have to go with Zach Harrison for the way these guys are talking about him so much.
I think once you said the second guy said it, man, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, let's go with Zach Harrison.
I'm gonna go.
I'm Adam Peters or John Lynch. We make an agreement to get Zach Harrison with 101.
Let's do it. I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
Ohio State, Alabama.
Hey, keep it in the family with Bosa. We got it. We're at pick 102 now. So who's available? Best available still Javon Dexter. Let me look up. I'm curious about him. If he's a bigger run stuffer guy, I'm kind of curious if we could get a guy like that. But I'm thinking he's more of an athletic type D tackle. I'm just curious about this guy, Javon Dexter Senior.
So
he's 6'6", 310. Okay, he's ran a 4.88.
Tall dude.
Yeah, he's I don't know.
Oh no, I like those more. Personally, I like the DJ Jones, the Javon Hargraves, those shorter bowling ball. They got the good. That got the good leverage, So I mean, that's just me personally.
Kalia Davis is kind of like that.
Yeah, we got Kalia Davis, Hargraves, and then also we still got Givens, right? We still got Givens, a few other guys in there. All right, we got the tackle. Hey, to be honest, I wouldn't be mad at going for safety.
I was thinking safety too. Do you like Sidney Brown from Illinois?
I'm not too familiar with Sidney Brown. I do know.
Let's pull up who's available. Chris Smith.
I do know Chris Smith. I do. I like Chris Smith, but I'm just like, would I be foolish not to snatch up Sidney Brown? I should have did a little bit more.
I can check a little research on him really quick for you. NFL Draft Buzz website, and it'll give me a better idea who might be better between the two. So we could do that really, really quick. Sidney Brown. I'll give you the rundown on him really, really quick. Just a moment. So Sidney Brown's 5'10", not a tall guy, 211 pound safety and 4.47 40. As far as where they rank him at the highest, they have him at an 84% in coverage, 84% in zone coverage, 73% in man. Run defense is 69. Thinking with that height, is he more of a strong safety or free safety? I'm not sure. Curious about that. Let's see. This is a free safety type guy. Maybe not. Let me go look up the other guy really. So overall, NFL Draft Buzz gave this guy a 85.1. So we can go ahead and look at the guy you like is who's the other guy available. That is Chris Smith the second. So I could go ahead and look at Chris Smith and just the comparisons between the two. Just a moment. Smith from Georgia, they're both similar height. 5'11", didn't run a fast 40, 192, ran a 4.62. So the faster player is Sidney, obviously.
Dang, I like
and
speed.
they both have similar rankings in terms of what they could do in terms of coverage and run defense and all that. For me, I'd rather go with the guy with more speed because it's something
Same.
you can't teach. You
Because
just
that's
can't.
because
I'd
that's
rather go
one
with Sidney
thing.
Brown.
I'm tired of seeing us get burnt versus the better, get burnt or get so I'm gonna pick Sidney Brown, and I'm
Right.
gonna make sure to not only pick him, but I'm about to do my homework on him tonight, man.
Oh yeah, they gave us an A+ for that pick, by the way.
yeah, just to make sure I know who I'm talking about, and so
Sidney Brown, safety from Illinois. They gave us an A+ on that pick. They gave us a B on the Zach Harrison pick, by the way, an A on the Eli Ricks pick. Let me reject these trade offers really, really quick. We're going to go to the next pick, which is pick 155 overall, the best available. I see a name that's jumping out at me. You probably see it too. Zach Kuntz, the tight end from Old Dominion.
Hey,
6'7".
Hey man, we need tight end. He's there. Our next pick is 164. Go to tackles real quick.
I'm wondering if Wanya Morris is still. No, Wanya Morris is gone.
Hey, but
he is long gone. But I'll be perfectly fine if
Nick is there.
Available.
Nick is there. Hey,
Nick is there. Yeah. I'd rather go with Kuntz on this one because he's ranked high on their board. So that means he goes. All right. If we don't get him,
I think we're both sold on Kuntz, but I am curious to see who else is there, like at the other tight ends.
Like, yeah, that's no problem. Brenton, these are names now. Will Mallory, I know. Brenton Strange, I don't.
Because it felt like Wiley kept on falling, and I don't see Wiley.
I don't see Wiley.
Yeah, Wiley ain't even okay. So
what school is he from?
He's higher on this one.
Yeah.
God. I almost said Texas A&M. I'm drawing a blank on him, but I don't know how I drew a blank on that one. But hey, let's go take Kuntz, man. It's time.
Kuntz, man. This guy is a playmaker, 6'7". Ran a good 40. The 49ers have met with him. His blocking is questionable. Maybe the 49ers put a little, old man strength on him and have him work in that NFL weight room.
I'm happy about. Hey, man, if you switch that U and that N to an E and an L, I mean, hey, we're almost brothers right there. So let's get it, man. Kuntz.
There you go. Okay, best available, Xavier Hutchinson. I heard a lot about him. He played at Iowa State where Brock Purdy played. He's pretty good. I don't know if I'd go wide receiver at this pick. I wonder which wide receivers are available. I wonder if they already took my guy. See, I have this guy that I like a lot. That why am I forgetting? I'm drawing blanks on his name. Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss. But that's my wide receiver. One of my wide receiver mid-round crushes. But any position you want me to look up, I can. These are the best available right here.
And what's his name? Just get took.
Who?
There he is right there. I mess up on his last name. Nick, how you say
Saldiveri, the tackle from Old Dominion.
How do you feel about him, man?
I like him.
I've seen his name swirling a lot.
I've seen his name swirling a lot. For some reason, I've seen him lower on the PFF boards for whatever reason. Not saying I don't know which board is right. I'm thinking Nick Saldiveri is probably more valuable. I don't see this as a heavy. I don't see this draft as being like really heavy on tackles. On offensive tackle, so I'd see him more likely in this range.
Man, I'm good. I feel like it's time to get a tackle. Don't want to wait too long.
Okay, so Nick Saldiveri from Old Dominion.
Yeah.
All right. So back-to-back Old Dominion picks. We got an A+ on that pick, by the way, even though he wasn't that ranked necessarily high on the board, but he's a need pick. And they know that this draft is thin on tackles, especially at this stage of this round. We're at pick 173 now. The best available, Moro Ojomo is a D lineman that I'm familiar with. Jarrett Peterson, I believe he's a center from Notre Dame. We got another center, Olusegun Oluwatimi. Guy like Yasser Abdullah from Louisville, linebacker. These are Muhammad Ibrahim's a running back I've heard a lot of good things about. Ryan Hayes, Michigan tackle. Brandon Joseph, safety from Notre Dame. Terrell Smith, Chris Rodriguez, running back from Kentucky. That was when I had Javier Vega on for the mock draft. He liked Chris Rodriguez a bit. Daniel Scott's a name. I see they got Moody in here much earlier than the PFF ranks. So PFF has him in the 7th round.
Do you know anything about Keaton Mitchell?
Heard the name. I don't know anything about him though. He's a running back from East Carolina. I haven't watched him.
Yeah, because he has something that the Niners I feel like don't have. He's one of the fastest backs in this whole draft.
Okay,
man. He's right. Akane, Devon Akane, and him were the two guys I really liked the most. But then I'm kind of like, man, should I go snatch a running back up right now? I'm looking at who we got. We got Edge. Hey, I think we've done phenomenal with getting the needs and, so far. I wouldn't be mad at grabbing but then I almost want to go heavier in the trenches, like you're looking at right now.
Yeah, I was looking at D lineman. That is a big, I think Jared Clark, a big, huge D tackle that I wanted, but I don't think he's available anymore.
He might keep falling. How do you say it? Ojomo?
Moro Ojomo. He's not a big guy, but he's a productive D tackle. Moro Ojomo from Texas.
Is he
Longhorns.
how tall is he?
I'll give you his vital stats just a second. I pulled him up in the past. I've watched a lot of film on him.
Trying not to do that no more. If you could ball, you could ball. But
yeah, I just want a heavy, bulky
bowling ball.
More so than an athletic D tackle, because this guy's 6'3", 292. They gave him an 82.6 rating on NFLDraftBuzz.com. Great website, by the way. I have it open in my other tab, NFLDraftBuzz.com. Excellent draft website. But they gave him a 98% on run defense.
Hey,
he's not a big dude. He's got production. He is productive.
It reminded me
87 on pass rush too.
When you said the size, it just reminded me of Amenahue, the size.
Yeah, he's a D line. He's a D tackle though. He's not an end, but they gave him an 87 pass rush and a 98 run defense.
Kasarik got the magic, man. Hey, I'm not mad at bolstering it up, man. You know, I'm not mad at it.
We're gonna take Moro.
Let's do it.
Moro Ojomo, not the huge, big bulky guy, but they could probably put a few pounds on him if they want to.
Yeah,
he's extremely he dominates in the run defense, so I'm perfectly fine with that. He's got the production down, and we got the 216th pick overall. 49ers have Anthony Johnson Jr. available and from Iowa State cornerback, and the name that I see that is screaming at me, you probably see it too.
Yeah, Fahoko, right?
The old motto about drafting is you can never have enough pass rushers, right?
Yeah,
I know we just got Zach Harrison. I know we got Drake Jackson, but I want to. This cements our pass rush to an elite level if these guys pan out. So Fahoko, you want to get him?
Hey, hell yeah, I want to get Fahoko, but I will say this. All right, we got Drake, right? We got Drake. We got Nick Bosa, but we also lost Ebicam. We also lost Amenahue,
and Willis.
And Willis. Exactly.
So we need these guys.
Let's bolster it, man. Let's
do it. Let's do it. Local kid played his local ball in the Bay Area. Played high school Bay Area ball, San Jose State. So yeah, B+ on that one. I wasn't expecting to see his name that at this point in the draft. 222nd pick overall. We got all kinds of options. Safety from Alabama, DeMarco Hellams, Dante Demas Jr., wide receiver from Maryland.
I was just gonna say it might be time to snatch up a wide receiver, running back. Wide receiver.
He's the best available wide receivers right here. Puka's a name that I know from BYU. I haven't really watched him.
Same here. I've checked out Naka quite a bit, watching Jaren Hall's, checking out Jaren Hall, the quarterback over there. So that's a name that's always popped out at me. I believe he's like, I don't want to mess up on his. I think he's like 6'1". He's like an average type sized wide receiver. It reminded me. Yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool, especially for at that spot. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of thinking who's on our team. Hey, why not?
He's
why
not?
They
say 6'2", 200 pounds, 4.45 40. No, sorry, 4.55 40.
It reminded me of Juwan Jennings lightweight.
Yeah,
so
they say he's more of an intermediate route guy. He's okay in the deep routes. Hands 70%. So you want to take him? We'll get him. Where's Puka
let's see who else. Let's see best available real quick.
Best available: DeMarco Hellams, Dante Demas Jr., wide receiver from Maryland.
I've never heard that name.
I never watched Demas Jr.
Yeah,
I saw Demario Douglas available, but they have him way down. We can get him later.
What's the size? What's the size of because I would almost like I'm trying to think about like a slot guy, like kind of like that.
Demario would be the slot guy in my opinion. He could stop. They say he's like a Dante Hill, like a human joystick where you could just human video game where you can stop on a dime and do crazy.
I like that. I like that.
They have him way down the line though that we could get him later. But this guy, Dante Demas Jr., 6'3", 212. So they have his best attribute. They don't have him ranked high on here. They have his best attribute as running intermediate. They have Puka ranked much better overall than this guy. They got Puka ranked way better than him. So
yeah, let's snatch up a wide receiver.
Yeah, so you want to get Puka? I think I'd rather go with Puka. They got Puka as just a much better player.
Yeah, let's snatch up Puka.
I kind of trust NFL Draft Buzz's boards and their ranking system a little bit better. That's what I'm going off of. It's like my second opinion website that I go off of. But best of it. So that was the 222nd pick overall. Puka Nacua, wide receiver from BYU. They gave us an A on that, by the way. That's cool. They gave us a B plus for the Viami Fehoko pick. And Ronnie Hickman's the best player available currently at the 247th pick overall. Safety from Ohio State.
That almost makes me want to snatch Rodney Hickman up. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's there, but then part of me does want to go to the offensive. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that offensive line.
I'll show you.
But then I'm also remembering, we do still have Zakel. We still do have Poe.
We got Zakel. We got Poe.
I feel like I'm just looking at depth, and I feel like some of those second year guys get kind of forgotten. So I'm not.
Juice Scruggs just got taken right before us. If he was available, I would have snagged him easily at 247. He's a center from Penn State.
Now I'm almost snagged. Now I'm almost upset at the Puka pick, but
my bad. I know you want to go receiver. Well,
hey man, you can't win it all, man. You're gonna win some, lose some. Who knows? Puka might wind up being a Tom Brady of wide receivers. So hey man, let's all right. We got Hickman. We haven't grabbed a running back, right? Or a quarterback.
No, you want to look at running backs?
Or a linebacker.
Running backs are a lot thinner at this point in the draft than I thought. So Hunter Lepke, who's more of a fullback type, is at the top of the list. He's from North Dakota State.
That's the Juice replacement, I've heard. Lightweight.
Trey Lance's former teammate.
Hey, man, let's do it for Trey, man. I'm good with it. How do you feel about
Hunter Lepke? Yeah, he's pretty versatile fullback who can definitely run pretty well too for a fullback. I don't know if he can be a Mike Allstott type guy. I wish he would if we got him, but we'll see.
And then on top of it, you could probably side a guy like that, like right into special teams, or
or maybe even a tight end type role. He could probably fill in that one too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's never no telling. And I've checked him out. I mean, you said, he looked versatile. So I'm good with it. We got two more picks. Two more picks.
Is pick 253. Carter Warren is at the top of the list. He's an offensive tackle from Pittsburgh. I don't know much about him though. But I'll give you the vital stats on him if you're curious. Or at least I'm curious for myself. Carter Warren, 6'6", 316 pounds, so decent size. Ran a 5.2, 5.40. 40s aren't that big of a deal. They said pass blocking is a 78. 65% is his run blocking. At this point in the draft, he might be a good one to get. We already did get another tackle, Nick Saldivari, but hey, it's 253. I don't know if you're looking to get a kicker, or we did trade for a kicker recently, so got Zane Gonzalez. Raekwon O'Neal, offensive tackle from UCLA, is available. Jarek, never heard of this guy's last name's Converse, cornerback from UCLA. I'm curious.
That's different. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. UCLA does. Not LSU. Sorry about that. LSU does put out nice cornerbacks from time to time.
I'm a little frustrated I didn't get more offensive linemen, but I don't want to get the offensive linemen this late.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, I think this is the perfect time to grab a linebacker or a quarterback.
Linebacker would be good. Linebacker would be nice.
Yeah.
I think there's one linebacker my friend kept telling me. It might have been D. Winters. I see him available. It might have been D. Winters.
We got Mappa. We got Mappa right there. I don't know if you've heard of.
I think D. Winters is the guy that was really, really nice and explosive.
Oh, he's right there. Yep.
That's why I'm looking up really, really quick. There was one guy whose film just really jumped out at me when I watched him. I was like, damn, look at this guy. Some people had him as a top linebacker in football. Well, I see this on YouTube. But there was one guy I watched, some linebacker I watched recently, where he just shoots through the gap and explodes. Who's a linebacker you like?
I was looking at Mappa, and
from Sac State, a local guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I wonder who the NFL Draft Buzz ranks higher. I'm curious to see.
I wonder if he was at the Pro Day or whatever.
He wasn't at today's Pro, but I don't think he was. I had the article pulled up. Let me see. I'll let you know if he was. Let's find out. I had that pulled up in just a second. That's a good question, actually. Very good question. I'll let you know in just a moment. The guys who they hosted, you said from Sac State, right?
Yeah.
Linebackers that we met up today. No, he wasn't one of them. No, surprisingly, maybe they didn't like him enough to bring him in. But no, he definitely wasn't on there.
Well,
I'm curious to see what the draft buzz says.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if he's even on their website. No, he's not on their website. D. Winters is on there.
Yeah, I'm cool with D Winters if
I think
hey,
he's the guy that I watched not too long ago.
we're picking this late, so I mean you kind of
Yeah,
can't.
D Winters is the guy. D Winters is
Okay.
explosive. When you watch him, you know what? I'm gonna share my. Oh, I can't share my screen. I'll do it. I'll do it afterwards, though. But trust me, my friend was screaming that we didn't draft him in the chat when we didn't draft him when I
Yeah,
had
man.
When I had Ted H on. He was so mad at me that he called me. I was like, dude, he was available. I couldn't. I'm all, dude. I could, because when I have this browser open, I can't necessarily go back to the chats. And shout out to everybody in the chats. Steven Supremo, Laura's
Okay.
there. She said.
Yeah, we
John
see you.
V, see you there.
Hey,
We
we
see
got
you all. I'll go back to the chat, see what's up to you guys.
we got John
D
V.
Winters is the guy though, and they have him. They actually put suggestion on there for us. So D Winters, I'll pull up one of his highlights really quick. When this is all over, you'll see what I like about this guy. So we're at our last pick, 255 overall. We're able to end this really quick. We got that tackle is still available. The one I brought up, the Jarek Bernard Converse is still available. Wide receiver Matt Landers, Micah Bakersville. You can still get Mapu if you want. He's still available.
I almost want to take Converse just because of his name, just at this point in time, man. We might. I got a pair of Converse, man. So
okay. You just base it on the name, huh? Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, you gotta have a little fun with it, right? You got to.
All right, it's our Mr. Irrelevant pick, right? We did good with the last year.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay. And what did we end up getting them? So let's go through the rundowns of the guys we did get. So since your draft is complete, we got an A for the Eli Ricks pick at number 99, cornerback from Alabama. At 101, we got Zach Harrison, edge from Ohio State. Here, a lot of great things about this guy, John V. Well, shout out to you, bro. You're one of the guys that hoots and hollers about this guy. Sidney Brown, safety from Illinois, A plus like that. My guy Zach Kuntz, tight end from Old Dominion. I love what he brings to the table at that pick, at that value. Yes, we got an A on that one. Next out of Very, we got an A plus at pick 164. Moro Ojomo, an extremely productive run stopper at A plus on that one at 173. Biami, they also call him Junior Fahoko, edge from San Jose State. They met up with him today. B plus. Puka Nakua, wide receiver at pick 222. A on that one, wide receiver out of BYU. Hunter Lewepke, the fullback out of North Dakota State. He's also like a runner type, kind of like at a bigger running back. B plus does it all. D Winters, heard a lot of good things about him. Seen some good clips of him. We're gonna pull him up in a minute. Actually, you got an A on that one. And a B plus with the Converse pick, Jarek Bernard Converse, cornerback out of LSU. I'm gonna pull up this guy pretty soon and see what he's all about. But let's close this out. Good job on the mock draft. You were John Lynch. I was Adam Peters. We're gonna actually let me say what's up to some people really quick. Steven Supremo's here. John V's here. Oh, he saw that we got Zach Harrison. Okay, he saw that. I know he's a happy camper. Sorry, Kenny. Dev on the chain was not available. Oh, he said it's available at 155. You're crazy not to take him. Damn. We ended up getting Zach Kuntz, man. Sorry.
Oh,
bro.
Was he there?
Yeah, he said he was there. I didn't know that.
No, he said if.
But... Oh, if he was. I didn't see his name. Pop up.
Nah,
I think he got picked up sooner than when we were picking.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Let's do this because I pulled up a little clip of D Winters, and I'm not gonna play the whole clip because of copyrights and all that crap. But let me just play a little bit of this guy because early on in this video, I know it's not the full game and you don't see him going up against certain players on every single rep. But shout out to my guy Ant from 49er Cutback, and he said this: when you pull up a player's highlight reel, and if you don't like that player's highlight reel, are you going to draft him?
Nope.
No, because those are that player's best plays. Now, when you pull up that player's highlight reel, and it's just wow play after wow play after wow play, boom, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, whatever you say, hey. I'm getting that guy. I want excitement. I want big plays. I want plays that jump out off the screen. And that's what I see with this guy. Even though he's available later, I'm not sure what the hang up on him is. I may have to read his draft profile. I'll pull up on the draft bus. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy though too? You get to watching some of these guys who really break down the film and stuff, and I love to see the lowlights too of some of the guys I really really like.
Oh yeah,
I love to watch because it's like like. Because there's two sides to it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, two sides of the coin.
Hell yeah, but like you said, man, if I'm just excited to see him right now. See what my initial thought is. Number 6, or wait, where's he at?
That's the play. That's the number 13.
Okay,
this is the play that I love.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh yeah, He knew what was coming. That was anticipation right there. We
Yeah.
seen
So
that.
we lost Aziz. I'd love to get another linebacker, just one more linebacker in the mix with McCreary Ball and Demetrius Flanagan Foles, guys we have. And I wouldn't mind this guy at all. At that point in the draft and with those lower picks,
Not at all.
second to last pick, I'd definitely like to take a guy like this, take a flyer on him, see what he can do.
And he looks
And
strong too. He looks
oh yeah,
strong.
look
He
at
got
him
in.
leveling that quarterback right there.
Yeah, he got anticipation. He looks strong. Like I know we like to. It feels like
Yeah.
we're going for
We don't
faster
really
dudes.
blitz that much all the time, but hey, I'd love to throw this guy up on a blitz, and if we got him, hey, so Love the Truth says, "Oh, go Dubs." Okay, yeah, that's coming. He's gonna see
Yes,
your Dub
sir.
hat. You can see your Dubs hat.
Hey, let's
That's on
get it.
Saturday. I live in the Sacramento area, but I'm a Bay Area guy
Ooh.
through and through. Grew up in the Bay, lived in the Bay most of my life. I'm new up here in this area. Diehard Warriors fan. Love the championship that we won. But
Don't sleep on the Dubs, man.
Hey, I am mad that we traded Wiseman, but that's a different story. I love the fact that we did bring back GP2. Wiggins is coming back, so it's going to be interesting. The NBA playoffs are a new season, so let's see what the Warriors do.
Hey, one thing that I'm glad that comment came up because I told myself to bring up the Warriors to Bashar, and so good stuff. Low real talk. I think it was a blessing in disguise to have the regular season that we had. I don't know how you feel about it, Bashar, but I feel like all those close games just gave valuable experience to the Kamingas, to even to Jordan Poole. Even though Poole had a phenomenal playoff run last year, I feel like it was just valuable experience to not just be beating the brakes off of teams, being up by 20 or 30, to really play, to fight through the whole season. They had to fight through the whole season, and I think it's primed them for this playoff run. And you can never sleep on the champs, man. We're the defending champs. Have we ever lost with Steph, Dre, and Clay, fully healthy? I know the Cavs got us that one year, but I believe even Draymond missed a game when he got suspended or whatever it was. But Warriors are coming. We're about to dim the beam. I can't wait.
You said we're about to dim the beat. I've never heard that before. I don't know if you made that up yourself.
I made it up because I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I've said it for a minute. I don't know. Last show, I was like, man, we're about to dim the beam. I was like, man, we're about to break the beam. Like, hey, the Bay is crazy. Someone might go out there and break the damn beam. Who knows? But
and back to TCU back to D Winners from TCU. The highlight I played Low the Truth 05 says he's a hitter. I did pull up his profile, and I guess they were saying run defense was one of his downfalls. I'm assuming that he may have problems colliding into tackles or whatever. So who knows? But he's got explosion runs of 4.8 40. He's built like the type of 49er linebackers that we have for the most part. He's got that build, smaller linebacker, but yet speedy and explosive. So we'll see if he's a guy we get or somebody else. Just want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. John V said this about you. He said something about your draft picks. He said, shout out to John V for the locker room rant, by the way. Check out his YouTube channel. So Keltz, great job, fam. Yes. By the way, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you're not subscribed to Keltz Chronicles, hit the description box of this video. Got all the links to the social media. Again, thank you guys to the chat. You guys are awesome. And any final words, anything you got going on, Rich? Anything going on in your social media?
Yeah, nothing much, man. I'm just kind of, to be honest, I've been messing with a lot of audio stuff. Been messing, even the background, just doing a lot, learning a lot.
I saw that. I thought it was real in the beginning, bro.
I'm learning. Oh yeah, not it's a half a green screen, and I'm just kind of
I'm
doing my family time. Yeah, it's a good old Carquinez Bridge right here. That's going from your old hometown to my hometown. So, yeah, man, just chilling with the kids. What's up, baby? I love you. Yeah, man, chilling with the fam and stuff. But
she can say hi. It's okay.
Nah, she did. She's been waiting to come on for months and months and months, and she finally did the other day. So she loves to just pop in real quick and get her little fix in. She's probably gonna be a future YouTuber because she's right here itching. She's right here, just like, should I get on? No, I can't do it. Should I? Yeah, man, just doing the family. Yeah, man, just laying low. I'm brainstorming on some ideas. I got some things. I'm always brainstorming, always trying to be creative. Appreciate everybody up in the chat. I love when people reach out for me to come onto their show. So I appreciate that, Bashar. I'm going to try to get better at that and reaching out to people, as well. So, yeah, man, we appreciate you in the chat. 49er, all the 49er faithful. Hey, we might disagree and all that, but at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, it's about the red and gold. And we're faithful to the Bay, man. So let's get it. Let's go. Faithful. Rise up. Yee.
Yeah, thank you, Lord the Truth 05. We appreciate that. It says, man, y'all need to link on the regular. I definitely had him on before. We need to make, I do agree, though. It'd be nicer if we made it more of a regular thing. There's so many people that I vibe with and I jive with, and we're both from the East Bay, and we grew up maybe about 20 minutes away from each other. 15, I grew up in Pinole, Sabranti, you grew up in Vallejo. We just never ran into each other until this whole online thing happened, but it is what it is. So yeah, I definitely like to make it a normal thing. And like I was mentioning earlier, there's going to be, you're talking about being creative. I'm going to step out the 49er box just a little bit, gonna do some Warriors stuff.
Same
soon.
here.
Gonna do the wrestling thing, and then from Parts Unknown soon. Thinking of dropping a food channel. Okay. The name of it that I have right now is Foodie Fanatics. So kind of, because I do talk a lot of food, talk about the pizza, and it's a big hobby of mine. And I watch almost every. I have so many hobbies. I watch almost every food blogger, traveler there is on YouTube. I mean, and then the Food Network and all that. So, and I'm cooking and making stuff. So I just think like I have this whole avenue that I could step into, other than my passion for the 49ers. So
I do not like the fact that people say so much that you need to stay to one niche and that's it, or like you won't succeed. That just reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo being trapped in a box. You can't pass outside the numbers. You can't pass deep. No, heck no. Like, hey, I've been preaching to myself lately, like, Rich, you love the Warriors, bro. You love the Giants. You know about other things. And there's other things more than even just sports, like you're talking about. Love food. My wife's an amazing cook. We were about to open up a food truck the COVID year. We still need to get that in the works. But me and Bay Area Baller, man, we just did a show talking Warriors, Giants, 49ers, and that's something I'm going to continue. I'm going to I got to be true to myself, man. I love it. I know about it. The Niners are my number one, but I'm also, going to be starting to talk. So, hey, man, if you ever want to chop it up about the Warriors, I don't know if you're up on the Giants, but hey, man, you're always welcome. And we'll talk, we'll talk backstage and we'll get together more, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't only watch baseball anymore. My bad. I used to be a big time A's fan back in the day, believe it or not. But, it is what it is. My passion just dwindled. But when the Giants were winning in the playoffs, and not that I was trying to be a bandwagon or anything, but of course I'm going to support. I'm not going to root for the team from, so many states away. I'm obviously going to root for the Bay Area team if they're in the damn playoff run, the World Series. Hey, if I get the food channel going and you guys get the food truck going, I'll definitely feature that. That's way down the road, though. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. So thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. It's a great time with the mock draft. Going to do one tomorrow with Rohan Chakravarthi. We're going to do it at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So stay tuned for that. And might do another one on Saturday. I don't know yet. And might do a Warriors podcast on Saturday too, or maybe tomorrow. So we'll find out. Anyways, keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Let's go. Go Niners. The old song right here. Come on, 49er faithful. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49er mind.
Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.